Hello, everyone. My name is Talia, and this is a yoga flow inspired by the third lockdown in Toronto. In Toronto, we've been locked down since October of 2020, and we just got notice that there's a extended stay-at-home order for those in the GTA and everywhere in Ontario now. There's officially a lockdown, and this practice is called Open It Up. And inspired by the frustration. So, no matter where you sit on the political spectrum or no matter what your views are on what's going on in the world right now, I think it's safe to say that we're all feeling tired and we're all feeling frustrated, and we just want things to go back to normal. We want to be able to see our family members and our friends and to engage in our social interactions like we used to, shop at our favorite stores and go to our favorite restaurants. And, I just read an article from someone saying, I don't want to go on any more walks or sit in any more parks. and, and I think we're all feeling that to some degree. And so this practice is called Open It Up, more of a yin style practice. So not exactly yin yoga, but in yin, we typically hold poses longer to stretch out the fascia. And the fascia is like the saran wrap that surrounds our muscles. And that's where a lot of trauma can be stored in the body, and where a lot of tension is stored in the body, where a lot of us feel pain, and there could be an accumulation of lactic acid and other metabolites that can cause us pain or discomfort, headaches, nausea, tightness. So yin focuses on opening up the fascia, holding poses for a little bit longer, and turning inwards. And what we'll be opening up today are the chest and the hips and in the airways as well. And in various mind body traditions, the hips are typically where we store grief, and the chest tends to be where we store fear. And so we'll be opening up those areas of the body. We're also dealing with a lot of Zoom fatigue. And I know this is still online and it's still video form, but part of our computer posture and how we engage with our screens is that we roll our chest inwards and we tighten and contract our hips. And that's, I think, at least in my body, part of why I feel so much fatigue energetically. And so hopefully this practice can help open up those areas and help us open up even during a lockdown. I found movement to be such an important practice for moving through these emotions, these stuck frustrations, and physical tension in my body. And yoga has been a huge help for me. So hopefully, you find some benefit for this practice. And as usual, engage at your discretion and always talk to your healthcare practitioner before beginning. What you need is a mat, some sort of bolster pillow. I'm using a meditation cushion, and then I have my dog out of camera. He might join us later on. So let's just start on our backs in Shavasana. So just lie on your mat, feet and arms outstretched, palms to the sky. And just let the ground support you. Feel the points of contact with the mat. And let your back body just sink into the mat, into the ground. Every exhale, let yourself get heavier. And just call to mind, what's here for you today? What's going on in your body, thoughts, emotions. Can you notice and name what you're feeling? Are there any points of tension in your body that you're noticing right now? And when you're ready, just inhale your legs up to the chest. Give your legs a big bear hug. And just gently rock, maybe holding your knees. Draw some circles. Start big. Exhaling as your knees come forward. Inhaling them away. Moving in a clockwise direction. And gradually letting the circles get smaller. Now, again, inhaling, exhaling now in the opposite direction. First big circles. And then slowly make the circle smaller. Make a T with your arms. And on the exhale, slowly drop your knees to the left. Turning your head to the right. Inhale those knees back to center using the core. And exhaling them to the right. Turning your head to the left. Inhaling them back to center. Straighten your legs out long. Rolling onto your stomach. Spread your arms into a T. Turn your head to the right side. Bend your right knee. And then slowly roll to the left side body and put your right foot on the floor. Right toes. You should feel a stretch in the left shoulder. Let's breathe here. So slowly starting to open up the hips and the chest. Roll back to center. Straighten the right leg. Turn the head to the left side. Bend the left leg. And press the left toes to the floor. Opening up the right side body, the right chest. Slowly come back to center. Now put the arms under the shoulders and push back with wide knees or knees together into your child's pose. Exhale. Arms can be out in front of you or beside your legs. Stretch your arms out long. And then gently guide your arms to the right side of your mat, stretching out the left side body. Inhale to center. And exhale to the left side, arms to the left. Stretch out the right. Inhale back to center. Put the palms together and bring them to the back of the head. Inhale them up. And exhale them back to the floor. A couple more of these. Inhale, palms to the back of the skull. Exhale them down. Inhale. And exhale. Play out the palms and come forward, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Untuck the toes and we'll gently come into cat-cow stretch. So inhale, look up, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. And exhale, drop the tailbone, drop the head. And push up through the shoulder blade. Spreading the shoulder blades, arching the back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel free to take free form cat-cow, so moving your spine in whatever way feels good. Moving your neck. And deepening your inhales and exhales, noticing what feels tight in your body. Do a couple more breaths of this. We're coming into a neutral spine. Lifting the right arm up, look up, feel the stretch. And exhale your right arm through, threading the needle. Resting your right shoulder onto the ground. You can press up with the left palm or stretch it long out in front of you. And then plant the left palm again, push up, and return your right palm to the floor under your left shoulder. Let's do it on the other side. So lift the left arm up, stretch up, look up. Inhale, exhale, thread the needle. Left arm stretches long across the floor. Pressing up with the right palm. And if it feels good, stretch it long out in front of you. Opening up the chest to the right. Right palm comes back to the floor, press up. Come back to your tabletop position. And tuck the toes. Just rock back and forth on the toes a little bit. Rock on the wrists. And inhale, lift the knees, hips to sky. Sink the heels to the ground. Come into the first down dog. Pedal out those heels a little bit if you want to. They don't have to reach the floor. And on the inhale, bring the right foot between the hands. Bring left knee to the floor. Framing fingertips or palms, framing the right foot. You want to make sure that the right knee is stacked over right ankle. And gently come up. Hands to the right thigh. Breathe here for a moment. You're probably going to feel a nice psoas stretch on the left side. Psoas gets super tight from sitting. Hands come back to the floor. Get back into tabletop. And lift hips back up to down dog. Inhale the left leg between the hands, right knee to the floor. Stack left knee over left ankle, and then gently come up, hands to left thigh. You can have the knees, the toes tucked on the right side, or put them flat behind you. Feeling that stretch in the psoas. And bring the right knee back, knees to the floor. Bend the elbows, bring the chest and chin to the floor. And when you're ready, straighten out, come into a gentle cobra, first back bend. Press the pubic bone into the earth, lift chin and chest. And exhale down. Tuck the toes, hips come back, child's pose. And hips to the sky, down dog. Inhale the right foot between the hands. Left knee comes to the floor. Come up. See if you can reach your arms to the sky. And exhale the right hand down. It can touch the hip or see if it can hit the floor. You can use a block or your bolster. And just tip to the right. This should really open up the psoas more. And this is optional. You can always just stay here in our half crescent lunge. Take a few breaths here. Inhale it back up, palms to sky. Exhale the hands down, right knee back, down dog. Exhale, hips to sky. Left leg between the hands. Knee comes to the earth. Come up. If it feels good, arms up. Left fingertips reach towards the earth, bolster a block, tip to the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms down. Left knee comes back. Exhale, chest and chin to the earth. Straighten out. Lift up into cobra. Exhale down. Now we're going to take our first yin posture, Sphinx pose. So start by stacking our shoulders on top of our elbows. Forearms parallel with our palms facing down on the floor. And the energy of Sphinx is we want the pubic bone to be pressing into the earth and for the shoulder blades to be pulling back, opening up the chest. And just breathe here. Feel free to stay like this, or if you have more flexibility in your spine, you can bring your palms closer towards you and straighten the arms. You want to make sure that you feel the stretch in the mid and upper back and not any pressure in the low back. And that you want to keep your pubic bone pressing to the earth. Know that you want to find your edge. The edge is the point at which things feel like something, but they don't feel too intense. And know that the postures grow in intensity the longer we stay in them. And this posture opens up the heart center, fourth chakra. Exhale down. You can rest your cheek on your palms, flat on the earth. Just rock your hips from side to side. Gently lift up, bend the knees to your child's pose. Come back up into tabletop. We're going to take a seat. We're going to move into square pose. So square pose is you stack the left shin on top of the right. You can use a block here. And you want to keep your heels flexed, your feet flexed out in front of you. Now this may be enough. You might already be feeling this in your hips. Just stay here a moment and feel. And if it's available to you, you want to hinge forward at the hips, maybe resting your forearms on your shin. Just exploring that edge. Maybe exploring bringing the hands to the ground or to a block. Again, be mindful of your edge and respectful of it. Try to avoid feeling any pressure in the knee. If you're feeling any tension or pressure in the knee, lift out of the posture a little bit, backing up a little bit, away from the edge. You should be feeling this a lot in the left hip. On the inhale, slowly use your palms to lift yourself up. You can use your hands to straighten your legs. Just give them a little wiggle. Get the blood flow circulating. And then recross them, so left shin under right. Feet flexed. Just enjoy the difference in sensation here. Maybe coming forward. Exploring that edge. Slowly lift out of the posture. Walking your hands back to your shin and using your hands to straighten your legs out in front of you and give them a shake. I always feel this really dopey, relaxed feeling as I stretch my fascia. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together in a nice open Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So normally we bring the heels in with Baddha Konasana, but we want a nice open diamond shape with the legs. Again, you can use blocks for the knees or any other modifications. And you may already be feeling this, especially in the inner thigh groin area. And then gently again hinging from the hips, keeping the back long. You can start to bring the elbows to the sides and bring the chest towards the feet. Being mindful of the edge where you're feeling this posture. Forearms, hands, elbows can come to the floor. Don't feel the need to come down further if you're feeling the edge at whatever place you started or wherever you end up. Slowly walk the hands back up. Inhale. Bring the palms behind you. Straighten out those legs. Give them a shake. Let's take a wide-legged straddle pose. Bring the legs out to however wide it feels good. Feet flexed. And you can stay here, or you can gently walk the palms forward, feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, the groin. There's a lecture from a functional anatomist, functional anatomy. It's understanding how our physical structures function. And he talks about, it's called the fuzz speech. And he talks about how between the layers of our fascia, this fuzz, which are these like fascial adhesions, start to develop when we're immobile. And these can restrict our movement, result in that creaky, crackly feeling that we feel when we move our muscles in the morning. This lecture talks about how if we don't move, so our movement is in a sense a way for us to remove that fuzz and keep the fascia clear, so the fascial layers can move across each other, eliminate toxins, deliver nutrients to the tissues. And, if we skip a day of movement, more fuzz develops. And if we skip a couple days, even more fuzz, a week, even more fuzz. And so it's important to keep our tissues moving to lubricate them, to allow nutrition to come into them. And this is as simple as like doing some yin postures like this. When you're ready, come up. Inhale the hands back to the pelvis behind you, and even lift the hips, move the feet inwards. Just shake them or wiggle the legs. And so through daily movement, we're working to remove that fuzz that builds up. Now we're going to lean to the left hip, parallel the left thigh with the long edge of the mat. And we're going to bring the right knee to the left heel and create a perpendicular line between the shins. I'm just going to sit here. If you want, you can come over the front shin. If it feels good to you, you can lean out of this posture. Maybe bring the left heel in closer to the pelvis and straighten the back leg long. Untuck the toes and come into a pigeon pose. So this should create a really good stretch in both the right psoas and the left groin. So on fingertips here, just keeping the back straight. Inhale. You can use a block under the left hips. And if it's available to you, you can walk the hands forward, maybe resting on forearms, or coming onto a block, or all the way to the earth, or maybe even to the palms. Inhale, lift up and start to walk the hands back, up, lifting the torso, leaning to the left hip, and bringing those legs out in front of you, giving them a little shake. And switching it up, so right leg, right shin parallel, left shin perpendicular, facing forward. And you can come forward a little bit. You can stay here or move into pigeon. So again, coming up, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Bringing the right shin across the mat. I usually don't have my shin parallel. I have my foot tucked closer towards my pelvis. Left leg's long behind you. Lift up. Sinking those hips down. And if it feels good, coming forward, however far it feels good for you. Shins or block, head resting on palms, or all the way to the ground. Inhale, start to walk the hands back to the hips, lifting the torso. Lean to the right and bring your feet out in front of you. Shake them out. Shaky, shake. And we're going to roll onto our backs. Get your bolster, your cushion available. Feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. See if you can reach for your ankles. From here, let's just flesh our sit bones or our sacrum to the earth. So you should be using it's almost like you're creating a connection between the belly button and the pubic bone, tightening those transverse abdominis. As we exhale, then inhale, relax. Noticing that there's a space in the low back. So again, just inhaling flat. You might be using your hamstrings for this too. Exhaling, relaxing. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale, relax. Exhale. Inhale, back to neutral. Now we're going to exhale, flatten the back, and then slowly start to lift through the feet, lift the pelvis off the floor into bridge. You can take your bolster, cushion, or block. We're going to nestle it under the sacrum, your supported bridge. So choose one that is the right height. You don't want to feel strain in the low back. We're just going to hang out here for a little bit. Supported bridge pose. Breathing into the muscles of the abdomen, feeling them relax with every exhale. Maintaining support through the feet, keeping energy in the feet, in all four corners of the feet, pressing them into the earth slightly. Feeling pressure on the back of the head. But you shouldn't feel any pressure on the neck. Relaxing the jaw. Just breathing here. Next inhale, press through the feet. And pull the bolster or the block away from the low back. Keeping the low back off the earth, let's gently burst through the upper back. Lower our spine to the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae. Keeping that tailbone tucked so that the low back comes down before the tailbone. So exhaling. Once everything melts to the floor, take your feet as wide as the mat and just let your knees knock together. Maybe even opening palms to the sky. Just releasing that low back. Next, we're going to lift the upper spine. Take that same block and nestle it just between the shoulder blades. We're going to take the feet, heels or soles of the feet together into our Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So heels can be as far away from the hips as feels good. And we're just going to lean back, lean the head back, open up the arms. This good chest opening posture. If your lower body feels unstable, you can always open up the feet. And that also gives you a bit of a hip opener. Or even bring soles of the feet to the floor. Just settle here and breathe into the chest. Inhale, you can use the hands to lift the knees, soles of the feet to the floor. Gently lift the chest up, remove the bolster, lie down on your back. Legs out in front of you. Soles of feet to the ground. Bring the left knee in. Cross left ankle over right thigh. You can stay like this, or bring the right thigh towards the chest. Press wrapping hands around the thigh or the shin. Keeping the left foot flex and just bring it in. Breathe in here. You came with us and you brought your knee towards the chest. You can release the right foot back to the ground, keeping the left thigh, the left shin where it is. You're going to slowly tilt the hips towards the right, bringing that left foot onto the ground. And turning your head to the left. Inhale, legs back up. Release the left leg, stretch both legs out long in front of you. Give them a little shake. Feet return to the floor, knees bent. Cross the left ankle over the right ankle over the left shin. You might just stay here. Or you might explore bringing the left knee towards the chest and holding the left thigh or left shin as we stretch out the right hip. Keeping that right foot flexed. Releasing right foot back to the floor if you weren't here already. And then tipping the hips to the left, letting the right foot land on the floor and turning your gaze to the right side. Stretching out that low back, the quadratus lumborum that gets tight from sitting. Inhale the feet back up. Release the right leg. Stretch them long. Give them a little shake. In our last posture, you're going to bring the feet to the floor. Take your bolster, your pillow, your cushion. Put it under the sacrum. So right under your flat part of the base of the spine. We're going to lift the legs up overhead. Feet flexed, soles of feet to the sky. Palms can face up or down. So you press fresh oxygen, drain back to the heart. Now that your heart's open, exhale knees to the chest. And bring them to the floor and just remove that cushion. Plant the sacrum to the ground. And spread those legs long in front of you. Feet slightly apart, hip width apart. Hands away from the hips, palms facing upward. Sink back where we started, Shavasana. Taking a moment to integrate this practice. What changes do you feel in your body, in your thoughts, in your emotions? And start by wiggling fingers and toes. Gently bringing knees towards the chest. Gently rocking back and forth on the spine if it feels good. Before slowly tipping to the right side. Stretching the right arm out long, resting your head on your right bicep. 2 breaths here. Using your left palm to push you up into a seated position. And here you can grab your bolster or cushion again under the sit bones. Just coming into your easy posture, cross-legged posture. Last exercise of the day is we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. We've opened our hips, we've opened our chest, we've opened our low back, even some of the energy bodies and the low legs. Let's open up our nostrils, our airways. So when you're ready, take the right hand and take your peace fingers and put them on the third eye. With the thumb, block off the right nostril and breathe in through the left. At the top of the inhale, block the left nostril, open up the right, and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right, block it off, exhale through the left. Inhale left, block, exhale right. Inhale right. Block. Exhale left. Inhale left. Block it off. Exhale right. Now continue that for your own pace for another few minutes. Take one more inhale. And exhale. Release the right hand. And just breathe here through both nostrils. Observe any differences in the rate of breath, in the openness of the airways. And open your eyes when you're ready. Inhale the arms up. Palms come together. Thumbs to the third eye, to the heart center, and to the floor. Namaste. Be well, my friends.